cannot ignore the Morph Pedestal Reserve Tank.
Yeah. Yeah. I might go with Ice Beam, which I know is kind of like one of those ones that in SM Rat happened a lot because it was one of 4 that it could be, but it's always an interesting item to get at the start, and oftentimes runners will want to turn it off.
And then they forget that they have it at the end, and they go looking for power bombs, and everything just goes badly for them.
Yeah. So, our runner's going through the pit room, and we're about to see what our first item is.
Let's see it. It's an E-Tank. Gross. That's no fun, because that's a full reserve tank.
Yeah. I mean, it is the highest likelihood, just because there are 14 in the item pool. Yeah. So this is a major minor split. So we'll be seeing the major items, E-tanks and reserve tanks, swapped among themselves, and the all of the ammo items swapped among themselves.
Al had a really nice deboost into the ceiling. We're 3 for 4. Chexhuman is going to use the gamer here, or reset the room.
Yeah. We have found power bombs, so there will be no power bomb hunt today.
Boo. And super missiles, so no super missile hunt either. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Free seed. Already.
Yeah, we'll see like where the first like regular missile shows up to avoid having to do the Nintendo Power Strat on Fantoon.
There it is. And Owl looks like he's preparing to backdoor route Brinstar.
Yeah, known also as Meme Route. And it takes care of those side hoppers really quickly. Those can be very dangerous, although he did have the health to take at least one hit from them.
And Chexhuman went up and got more power bombs and more supers at Billy Mays.
Yeah.
Not a bad find there. And even more power bombs under Old Mother Brain. So they are preloaded.
Yeah, so I think Chex tends to be very thorough with his ammo checks fairly early on.
That's a strategy I've been using a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely useful to have as much ammo as you can get for Ridley. But you also have to kind of weigh that against the time cost of a 6.5 item fanfare for every pickup.
That's right. It's good to be prepared if you don't find Charge Beam. But if you do find those things early, and there is speed for CanadianOwl behind the wave gate. Did the glitch there very nicely. And just a reserve tank at Reserve Tank Chorizo.
Yeah, that's interesting to find early. We'll see if CanadianOwl remembers to check Waterway.
I think he needs another power bomb in order to do that.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
If I'm not mistaken. So that must be his little issue here. Maisgueuh is going to go up to Gauntlet with his 10 power bombs. Looks like Swap Space did not pick up the reserve tank either. We'll see if Chexhuman does.
Yeah, I find that interesting, skipping those early reserve tanks, because they can be what logically allows hell runs. And Chex picking up his 4th Powerbomb pack, which, if you're thinking you might want a Crystal Flash, then maybe having 1 extra might be good because it will save you from having to refarm them. But oftentimes you'll see runners stop picking up power bombs around 15 because that's what you need, what you absolutely need for Crystal Flash and for Iceless Torian.
Yes. Now makes his way in, and we'll see what is at Waterway. Just an E-tank. For all that powerbomb farming. Chexhuman does pick up the reserve tank that Bomb Chorizo so kindly had.
Maisgueuh finding a reserve tank at
like a reserve.
Yeah, at Gauntlet, so making his way to the back.
So that's 2 so far.
CanadianOwl not choosing to farm up power bombs at Waterway, so he's going for this clip that you can do above those blocks, which I guess by the fact that he's doing that, you don't need high jump to do the clip.
Owl does not want to use his last power bomb, but I think he just wants to be fancy and do that clip.
Yeah, but he does manage to get the clip, but now he's going to have to go back and farm more power bombs. But since he's meme routing, he's going to Green Brinstar anyway, so he'll be able to farm those off the B-toms when he goes to check. And nicely timing that that spark charge so that he doesn't fall into the Decora pit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's
oftentimes,
like, how did he not fall in there?
Yeah, oftentimes you'll see runners like jump to avoid the Decora pit. But I've never seen that strategy before, but it works really well.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen that either. Tons more power bombs here in early Brinstar.
Yeah, I mean that power bomb pack is one that's kind of annoying because it's like you gotta pick that up to get at the back item if you want it.
Well, they have Spring Ball. Very nice. So now if Owl does go to the wreck ship, he's got a couple options to get over the moat. But I think he should use his Spring Ball.
Yeah. We'll see what he decides to do. He also has a couple options for getting through Sponge Bathroom, which is another one of those annoying rooms to do if you don't have a lot of movement option. So CanadianOwl or any of our runners will not have to resort to the Power Bomb Sponge Bath strat. So
Chexhuman took a dip down that gonna see the Itacoons that we don't get to see a whole lot in Major Minor Split, but sometimes we do get to say hi. He's probably an animal saver. No, I don't know.
Yeah, finding another pack of supers is not bad. Still, I mean, with all these extra ammo checks, you do kind of have to weigh the time it takes to do the check versus like what you actually get out of the ammo pickup.
And Magoo nicely gets his gate glitch. Gonna be happy to see the speed booster back there.
Yeah. Now the tricky thing about getting speed booster there is you do have to remember to do the waterway check. And oftentimes if you're planning like a couple steps ahead and you get one of these items that enables you to do an extra check like that, sometimes it can slip your mind to do one of those other checks. Canadian Owl with a really nice spark.
Yeah.
Out of BT's room.
Yep, if you have speed and you forget the waterway check on your way through Brinstar, there is 100% guarantee a suit will be there. But if you remember, it will just be an E-tank.
Yeah, can confirm. I mean, I have never, ever had a seed where I last location Varia there.
No, that doesn't happen.
Check's struggling a little bit with that gate glitch. To do that high jumpless gate glitch, you want to be lined up against the left wall, and Chex is jumping out a pretty huge distance. It's...
Yeah, I can't say that I know for sure that that's something that actually works, but yeah, you generally want to be pretty flush with the wall as you're jumping.
Yeah, we'll see as the reserve tank it just resets. And I imagine we'll be heading to the wrecked ship. Whereas Swap Space is going to probably be heading down Red Tower if I had to hazard a guess, but he could also surprise me and go up.
Yep.
Which...
Some people like to go up when they have speed. And there he goes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Him having speed wants to go up.
Oh, that's Magoo. Sorry.
Or yeah, right.
Now we'll see what Swap does. Yeah, if Chex doesn't end up getting that wave gate item, speed is a pretty big deal to be missing out on. It is one of your only ways through Meridia, and just a bunch of cool tricks you can do with speed. So we're gonna see him try again. And Vanilla Spazer for Swap Space, congratulations. Enjoy having a beam.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, having it as like this early as your only beam, you're pretty much just gonna pick it up because it makes a few strats a little easier, and it just makes your beam just a little more powerful. So in a randomizer situation, you're pretty much always gonna pick it up because you might find yourself not finding plasma anywhere.
Magoo does some cute little spring ball strats to get himself over to the wrecked ship. And Owl is taking on Phantom currently, while Swap Space is going to be fighting Kraid soon. He's going to check this minor item. It's more supers. Very nice.
Yeah, Owl getting a slow on his third round. Which should be able to kill Fantoon on this round. Or he must be like one missile short.
Yeah, Fantoon looks very cherry. There we go. Chexhuman got his speed booster now.
And Swap setting up for the Creed fight. We'll see if he takes Creed to prom. I expect not, because Swap is a very experienced runner.
And look what you did. You ruined it.
And Commentator Curse strikes again.
It never fails.
And Chex also remembering to check Waterway. So
Swap is already skipping E-Tanks. That's kind of interesting.
yeah, I mean, Swap probably feels very comfortable with his hell runs, because logically there are hell runs that require 5 or 6 E-Tanks, but the fact that he has speed booster so he won't have to do the Cathedral hell run, and he's probably very experienced with them, so he just knows that he can do those hell runs on 4 E-Tanks, even if logic says he would need 5.
Yeah, he's got Crystal Flash ammo, so I mean, he'll probably be fine, but I would have picked it up. Meanwhile, Al found Screw Attack in the wreck ship and is now going to check the E-Tank item.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Swap finds Wave Beam, so that's another beam upgrade that will make some things a lot easier. He won't have to gate glitch blue gates anymore. And he can also take care of that Nova really easily with Wave Spazer.
Yes, the annoying Nova. Oh, finds a third reserve tank. And doesn't pick it up. Obviously, I would frown upon picking up reserve tanks if you didn't even pick up an E-Tank. That's just me. He could, after he checks Ice Beam location, he could go right to Crack and, yeah, doesn't even have to gate glitch. Chexhuman also going down to Kraid. So we have our top runners both in the wreck ship, and then the 2 bottom runners taking the same down route.
Yeah, Swap accidentally saying no to save, so he has to reload the room so he can actually make his save before the ice hell run. That's always feels bad.
It does feel bad.
Check's picking up his Spazer. So you can get your Sephi emotes out in chat. So Owl making his way towards bowling. We'll see if he decides to go for bowling spark. Looks like it. He must not have been happy with his taps though, because he backed out of it. He has more than enough health to do this the conventional way. Maisgueuh getting a nice health refill, and Chex making his way into Kraid's lair.
Swap found an E-Tank at Ice Beam and decided to pick that one up. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, when you're in the middle of a hell run, like picking up the E-tank, it makes more sense because that way you're like assured that you will make it out. Because basically, any way you can get a health refill during a hell run, you're gonna take, unless you're literally, yep, unless you're just gonna reset the hell run altogether.
Yeah, see, that's what I kind of wondered. I wonder what he would have had to see there to actually use the save that he made. I think he wasn't really in danger of dying at the ice hell run, so I don't know, I might not have taken a save at all if I was going to pick up an E-tank anyway. Grappling beam for Owl at the reserve location. Interesting pickup. Not the greatest item in the world for some people, but
Canadian Owl with 2 health. He has reserves, but
ooh, vanilla gravity.
well, I was about to say things about Suitless Meridia, but those are all irrelevant now. Owl needs to be a little careful about those fish there to not pop his reserves. We are 0 for 2 on quick kills on Kraid as Chex makes Kraid stand up.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Kraid this season. From everybody and myself. Alright. Owl does not die to a crab. Very good.
Chex does pick up the Crady tank.
With the grapple beam, Owl can pretty easily check X-ray too. He'll have to be a little careful of his health though, because the gravity suit will not help him against the spikes. So the spikes will still do 60 damage per hit for him.
Yeah, Owl choosing to do a bit of farming in Hellway to get his health to a slightly better level.
Yep.
Yeah, now
I
he's
like that
now he's probably a lot more comfortable doing the X-ray check. If it was me, I would probably take Slaughter's refill, but Canadian Owl is a much more skilled runner and knows that he can do the check on this little health.
He does try to tickle the lightning bugs, but that doesn't work. They are not ticklish. They are immune to the grapple beam. It's okay, when I said the thing about the crabs, he had already passed them, so... Oh, and it's X-ray scope. That's vanilla. What in the world? Swap Space taking advantage of a crystal flash there after the wave hell run where he found charge that it completely just glanced over.
Yeah, unfortunately misses the D-boost to the Norfair reserve item, so he's going to have to make his way back up there. He might just choose to do a spring ball jump.
Mm-hmm. Chexhuman is pulling a move I like to do, skipping Bubble Mountain, and going back up. Be happy to find gravity, and it's a good thing he did get a speed booster because we have no sign of ice, and if he didn't end up getting it, he wouldn't be able to go through Meridia. Let's see what Swap finds over here at the Norfair Reserve. Just an E-tank, and he resets.
Yeah, I think that is a smart reset just because it's like getting out of that room and even getting into that room is kind of annoying. And so it's going to save a lot of time by doing that. Canadian Owl pre-opening the gravity or the Meridia tube.
Also, a lot of vanilla E-tanks, but I haven't been counting. Oh, we're gonna get a croc check out of swap space. That's what I like to see. I have a feeling he's gonna have something good today.
Yeah. I mean, high jump and Varia would probably be the things that would be best for swap to find here. Because those would completely would allow him to just go right down to lower Norfair.
Yeah, Varia would be a nice find, but the unfortunate thing, if he only finds Varia, he won't be able to get into lower Norfair. Well, unless he does. Oh, see, I told you it would be something good. Our 4th reserve tank.
The last reserve tank is in captivity. The runners are at peace. Maybe. Probably not. But we have found all 4 reserve tanks.
That's right.
So check starting. Yeah, check starting his Fantoon fight.
Swap doing a little bit of refilling, and Maisgueuh entering Crade. Aww. Chex will have a nice Fantoon fight, having a pretty good beam to kill the flames with. Space jump, see? You just gotta believe in little Crocky. Swap just picked up the best item in the whole game. And is gonna have a great time the whole rest of the rando.
Yeah. What that does mean, though, is that there's pretty much nothing else he's going to want to do in Norfair, so he's going to have to make his way up to the wrecked ship.
Yep.
But that space jump will make his movement a little bit faster, because he can just like use space jump to get over the moat and stuff like that. Whereas the other runners had to shine spark or do slightly slower strats.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that confirms Varia in Meridia somewhere.
Yeah, there's nowhere else it can be. We've seen every other location. So looks like Maisgueuh may be the first of our runners to make that play into Meridia.
I like it. I like the call.
Swap space playing it safe at the Croc Escape gate.
Very close ending to that Fantoon fight for Chex, but he makes it out alive.
Yeah, and he he should not get health bombed here. Although this is a situation where he may have actually preferred to be health bombed to get his health back up.
I was gonna say he probably wants to, but alright, we're gonna get our first Meridia. Check out Mama Turtle.
Maisgueuh setting up for a Shine Spark.
And Vanilla E-Tank.
Which Maisgueuh does decide to pick up. I don't know whether that was intentional or if he just kind of fell into it after seeing what it was. Canadian Owl almost said no to that save prompt, but catches himself and says yes.
Chexhuman got smushed into the screw attack by the robot. Very nice. And he'll be happy to find his gravity suit soon. Swap also denying the X-ray.
Yeah, well,
no X-ray love.
I think Swap just figures he's unlikely to find like charge or find plasma at this point, and he's just going to. And there's probably nowhere that he's going to do an X-ray climb or anything like that. So, yeah, there's not really a point to picking it up at that point.
Maisgueuh remembering that he should maybe fill up before going to Batoon chargeless. We don't want to see any soft locks today. Yep, if Maisgueuh finds Varia, like here at Batoon or at Dragon, he'll have quite a big lead, I would say. But if it's somewhere like Shaktool or Plasma, then that lead would be greatly reduced.
Yeah, but I mean, Maisgueuh would probably have the advantage of like being first to check it, but he is also, well, I guess he still has two bosses down, so same as Owl. Like, so Maisgueuh, assuming he just goes through and does all of the Norfair checks, Maisgueuh debating whether he wants to farm or not, or Maisgueuh assuming he does all the Meridia checks, will just will be in go mode in Norfair.
I couldn't even see the Batoon item. He was so fast. It wasn't Space Jump, unless there's two in the game, but it did look like Space Jump. if I had to guess, if I didn't already know, Space Jump's not there. That's what I would have said. But yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, I don't know, bombs, E-Tank. I'm gonna go with bombs. Al finds his charge beam. So I think he's ready to check Croc if he so chooses. Yeah, two space jumps, the dream seed.
Maisgueuh being the first of our runners to fight Dragon. Setting up for the opener spark. Morel is practicing his short charges while he waits for the fight to start. Maybe not gonna. Looks like he's gonna just go for a grapple kill or a combination of speed and grapple.
Yeah. And we got another Croc going on for Canadian Owl. He looks very cherry as well.
Maisgueuh, meanwhile, was just getting really trolled by swoops from Dragon, which is a lot of the reason why I tend not to grapple kill Dragon, just because you're kind of depending on her RNG cooperating.
Looks like Owl would rather die than touch that reserve tank. Okay, there he goes.
So Owl was setting up a wraparound shot there.
Oh, okay. It's like, I don't know what the heck he's trying to do.
So he basically opened a copy of the door that's on the left side of the room that exists on the right side of the room out of bounds. And by doing that, assuming he picks up enough health from the drops here, he should be able to spark through that door or just spring ball through it.
I hope that was worth it, Owl. Maisgueuh found plasma at Dragon. So yep, rip Spazer. Only one boss left, but he is on a Varia hunt now, so he has to make the decision whether he wants to full clear Meridia or if he wants to take the chance and go to Bubble Mountain. Hopefully, he clears Meridia, but we'll see. And Al picks up his best item. That is an automatic go mode for him. Maybe now we'll finally see what was at Batoon. Oh, it's Ice Beam. It's just blended in so well.
So Maisgueuh has all of the beam combo except for charge.
That's not a happy place to be in.
Yeah, because I miss where charge was, but I'm presuming it was somewhere in Norfair.
It was that wave beam.
Yeah, so Maisgueuh might not even wind up checking that. So if that's the case, he'll have to do a lot of ammo hunting.
Yep.
Because he only has 25 supers at the moment. And he'd need, a lot more than that. He needs at least 40-60.
Ooh, we have a forgotten highway going on. This way. That's fun.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with this play because he's just going to have to go all the way back to the Meridia Tube anyways, unless he's going to go like right for a Shack Tool play.
There is Varia for Maisgueuh. So yeah, whether or not he finds that charge beam is gonna be what kind of holds him back or not.
Yeah, so he might choose to do like the Bubble Mountain checks, and in which case he will find charge and be in full go mode.
It's nice that there is quite a bit of ammo in Bubble Mountain, so he could check Bubble Mountain for that reason, and then happen to run into charge, which would probably be the best thing for him.
Yeah. Owl entering Meridia. checks into the plasma spark room and is going to be making his way down the toilet, and then might choose to check Shack Tool immediately.
He's gonna have, if he does check Shack Tool, he'll have kind of a tricky jump to get in there though, because he doesn't have high jump or space jump. But we'll see how he fares. Doesn't look like he's going that way though.
Yes.
Honestly, I use Forgotten Highway sometimes because I get lost in Meridia. Once I'm over at Plasma, I feel like I'm lost. So that would be why I do it. Al sees his Ice Beam. Good upgrade for his beam. He's not gonna grab it yet though. It's probably faster to grab on the way out. If you get your speed echoes the first time.
And first try Gate Glitch from Chex.
Nice. I like it.
So yeah, I think Chex is just trying to complete his run without breaking the Meridia tube. That's probably what he's doing.
Yeah, everyone has things that are important to them. And that tube must be important to him. Alright, Swap. Join in the Purple Force, found his gravity suit. Now he should know that Beria has to be in Meridia. Maisgueuh already on his way to Lower Norfair. Didn't do any Bubble Mountain checks, it looks like, so I wonder what he's going to commit to here. As far as his ammo charge situation.
Maisgueuh using a bit of an unconventional method for the gravity jump, but does get it. Usually I see runners go for the gravity jump on the right side, but that works for him, so yeah. It's just something I never really thought about doing.
I always do it from the left if I don't have high jump. But you can do it from either side. That's how I learned it anyway, if I don't have high jump, to do it on the left. But sometimes I like to jump and pause and hit the spikes on my way up, so it's not a good time often. So I'll hoping he'll check Sandpit really soon here. He'll be a bit behind. He has the advantage of charge and full beam combo, and also a little bit of a movement advantage with space jump. So he could very well, that was cute. He could very well be in the lead pretty soon.
Okay, as they're pointing out in chat that the left side gravity jump is faster if you try the lava spark first and fail the lava spark.
And then he says he rarely fails the lava spark. Well, aren't you fancy? Swap is an offender of forgetting he has space jump all of the time. This is like the third race he's been in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can't entirely blame him, Because in my race earlier this week, I totally didn't forget I had space jump doing the lava dive and just unnecessarily do a gravity jump.
Yeah, I'm unsure if never going for it means you fail it all the time or you never fail. Maybe it's a pessimist-optimist thing.
Ooh, Maisgueuh takes a hit there, but having gravity should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, who forgets they have space jump? That's like forgetting you have Varia. Like, an item that good. You just don't forget that you have it. Right. So Owl gonna be on his way to Lower North Fair now. And Maisgueuh is doing minor checks. He's still quite a bit low. Would want 6 more super packs to be comfy.
Yeah, Chex was going for the grapple kill. Missed the quick grapple kill, but he probably could have still gotten it. He just would have had to wait for Dragon to push him or to take him all the way up to the upper one.
He is really committed to getting the quick grapple kill. Oh good, hopefully Swap knows now the space jump.
Yeah, I mean, at any rate, he just paused, so he should have seen it on his item menu.
You would think that, but that hasn't stopped him before.
And Swap, unfortunately, gooping the opener spark, which I think also meant that not all of the X Factor particles hit, or I know at least 2 of them missed.
Maisgueuh is already on his Ridley fight. Owl is close behind, but Owl is technically quite a bit ahead with the power of full beam combo. He won't have to farm before Ridley unless he wants more help. Yeah, so he's good to go.
Yeah, Chex does manage to get the grapple kill finally, but he's lost a lot of his health. Swap is also like almost done with Dragon. Has almost caught up to Chex at this point, but Swap
he can't
speed.
take a hit.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like this. Oh,
He
that was
has
really
no
close.
ammo.
Oh, high jump behind Ridley, by the way. Okay, Swap can take a hit now. Should be dead. There she goes.
Yeah, both of the bottom runners just like scaring us with their Dragon fights.
Yeah, I did not like that one bit.
Yeah, Owl almost caught up to Maisgueuh too. Like Owl probably could take the lead, depending on when and if Maisgueuh checks wave to find his charge beam.
Yeah, the best thing for him would be to go right there on his way out, but we shall see. Oh, and there's Swap with his space jump. With his Swap space jump.
Yeah, and Chex choosing to take a save after Dragon and the health refill, and that gives Swap Space the lead.
Hmm. Depends on what Maisgueuh is committed to, whether he'll check wave or not. I imagine he will, because there is ammo there. But you never know. You never know what the runners are thinking. Because he's committed quite a bit to all the miners in Lower Norfair. He even picked up the miner at the Mickey Mouse missile. And that's not something you see a lot in Major Minor.
Ooh, Check's getting his spark interrupted by the snail.
Those snails are pretty mean.
Yeah.
Al here is really close to overlapping Maisgueuh.
Yeah, because Owl's in full go mode, whereas Maisgueuh's still on the ammo hunt, but should find his charge beam and then also be in go mode, in which case it will be a pretty close race between Owl and Maisgueuh.
Yep. Very, very close. Maisgueuh will just end up being a couple rooms behind, perhaps, and yeah, it'll be an insanely close race.
Yeah. But at this point, Canadian Owl takes the lead because he already checked wave earlier. And I'd also give the movement advantage to Canadian Owl, just going off of any percent times. Canadian Owl has a 49.05, and Maisgueuh's any percent time is 52, if I remember right.
Yep, and Al also has space jump, which is the superior jump. But high jump's not bad either.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about that is space jump tends to be less reliable when you have when you're in the escape with all the explosions causing a lot of lag. Space jump becomes a little less reliable. Chex is fighting the sand physics and is going to check Shack Tool, which is an interesting play. And then decides better of it.
Yeah, I think you realize it's going to be a pretty difficult jump in there. So he needs to get down to Lower Norfair where Swap is.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna check Plasma.
Oh, Maisgueuh picked the wrong spot to spark there. There we go.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Maisgueuh, like every movement mistake he makes from now on is just going to put him further and further behind.
Yep, he's about 4 or 5 rooms behind now. And yeah, pretty much the biggest disadvantage for Owl is the not having high jump for the escape, which is one of the best places to have it. Chexhuman finds bombs at Plasma Beam.
Yeah, so I mean that's a useful utility item. It means that it'll make his terrain a little safer because if he gets grabbed, he can bomb the Metroids off of him. But other than that, it doesn't really give him that much.
Yep. Well, he can now bomb jump out of plasma, so that's exciting.
Yeah, because I guess otherwise
So
he would have had to do a spring ball jump. So yeah, that probably he's. Yeah, I probably would have also done the IBJ there.
another thing that Maisgueuh had to do, Maisgueuh was pretty low on supers, so he had to take a ship refill, whereas Owl was pretty much set and did not have to take a ship refill. Maisgueuh probably would have been fine without it, but you don't want to risk too much in a race. I think I would have done the IBJ there too because I find it easier. But spring ball jump would probably be slightly faster. Swap space. Use your space jump, please. Thank you. My goodness.
So we've had two runners take a scary fall in amphitheater, but both of them make it out without taking too much damage. Canadian Owl, Canadian Owl without high jump cannot go or cannot efficiently go for baby skip. I wasn't paying too much attention to his screen, whether he was going for it anyways.
It looked like he was memeing around a little bit, but I think baby skip's possible without high jump, but I think nobody can do it. So not even Owl.
Well, it's
Spring ball
doable,
skip.
it just doesn't save time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is true. Maisgueuh looks like he's not even going to go for it at all. Either way, doesn't get the baby skip either.
Now does get the Zeb skip, and now I'm gonna be fighting Mother Brain 1. Should have plenty of ammo for this.
Yep. Ready to begin his fight? Yeah, really the only thing that could make Owl lose at this point is something that I'm not going to say because I don't want it to happen. But I think you know what I'm thinking. Maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Don't say it, Link. Toasty wants it to happen. Oh, Maisgueuh's having a little bit of trouble with the Zeb skip. He seems to be doing it not the conventional way. So I'm not really sure what's going wrong for him.
Well, it looks like he is doing the conventional Zeb skip. I think he was just waiting for another damage source. And that's why it was looking like he wasn't getting it. Canadian Owl getting crouch locked, but has X-ray so he can get out of it. So X-ray wound up having a use in this seed.
Absolutely. Don't discount X-ray.
Yeah, I can't speak too much for the spin jump Zeb skip because I basically did a down back Zeb skip from day one, so
Oh, wow.
that's the strat that I really know.
All right. CanadianOwl is in the clear.
Yep. And successful stand up, like got I very close to all 39 shots in that I wasn't counting them, but it was probably like 37, 38 shots that he got in during the stand up. And Chex heading right into Lower Norfair. Yeah, unfortunately, Chex is quite a bit behind Swap because of all of the extra checks that he did.
Mhm. Still doesn't have charge. And his ammo is pretty low. Yeah, he'll want to use the right wall there since he doesn't have high jump. I appreciate all the creative answers in chat about what I was thinking would happen to Owl. All of you are correct.
Maisgueuh in his stand-up, Swap heading out of Lower Norfair.
I can't tell, but it kind of looked like Maisgueuh was like trying to damage himself. I don't know if that's a thing. It looked kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes runners will do that because it'll just give them a like an extra shot or just like set up for when their health refills to be at the time that they want it to be, because that's
Yep.
scary. That can be a little scary, but Canadian Owl has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, 54 seconds. GG to Canadian Owl.
Very nice. GG Owl. Very nice close race.
As Maisgueuh begins his escape.
It's alright. Owl's in my division. I'm coming for him. I'm gonna make him 4-1. That's right. Me and Tracy are gonna take down Owl. Chexhuman is gonna check the... Well, he was going to. But now he's out of supers. That's not good. Because if he doesn't get a super drop somewhere, he will not be able to progress.
Yeah, the key hunters have a pretty decent chance of dropping supers.
Yeah.
So I think he could just rely on that. Really, what you want to do is farm supers before you enter Lower Norfair.
He's going back. Interesting call here.
Probably realized like that it'll be more efficient to farm up his supers back in Upper Norfair, or he's literally just wants the save.
And GG to Maisgueuh, who has finished with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 49 seconds. And today, we were not missing any items. But I have a feeling we have a pretty hefty power bomb pack count in the seed. I saw a lot of them, especially in the beginning, and Chexhuman has 25. You'll have to bomb jump here or spring wall jump to get to the washroom. Alright, I hope he remembers that he needs a super drop from somebody. Well, I think if he's checking the Mickey Mouse missiles, I think that was a super pack, if I'm not mistaken, so he'll be lucky there. Oh. Looks like Owl is joining us for an interview. Hi, Owl. GG.
Hi, thank you.
So
Not a bad
thoughts
seat at
on-
all. What'd you think?
Ugly movement. Speed and no high jump sucks.
Yeah, that's always a very annoying item combo. Or I guess lack of combo.
Yeah. That stupid, I needed a power bomb to check waterway because I went meme route. That was dumb.
Yeah, but I think you still got it fairly quickly, but yeah, you did kind of have to go out of your way to get that one extra power bomb.
Yeah. And I didn't want to go to the Firefly room just to get one power bomb. Because if I'm going that far, I might as well be skipping waterway.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this seed it would have worked out to skip waterway, but it's the time that you don't check it that is when it has Varia.
Yep.
Or at least has been my experience.
Yeah. And it was very early in the seed, so I had to check it.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame you. I wouldn't like that on my conscience.
Especially where Varia was. That was a dumb location for it.
Yeah, I mean, Sandpit is, I guess it's like the one thing is it's like the check you're probably going to do before like going from Meridia down to Norfair. So in that sense, like it's pretty reasonable. But yeah, it's still like having it be all the way in Meridia when that's kind of like the last place that you're probably gonna look for it.
It was pretty lucky for you that was there. I think if it had been at like Plasma or Shack Tool, Maisgueuh might have ended up winning. At least I thought that during the race. I don't know if I still agree with that, but because it was there pretty, and you found it pretty quickly, you were able to catch up to him.
Which direction did you go first?
You guys both went up first.
Yeah,
But
he
he skipped out on the Norfair checks and went right to Meridia after Crate. So that was the difference between you two. So he didn't find Charge Beam till his very last item, pretty much.
Hmm.
And that hurt him a lot.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that charge beam may have been the difference maker in the race.
Yeah, I didn't come across a lot of supers. Like I was at 20.
Yeah, there weren't, and even Magoo, who was searching for ammo, I think only ended up with like 40 by the time he checked and found charge.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, 34, 22, 10 was the ammo count. It's not bad, but not great.
Yeah, that's pretty much all was on the nose for the ratio.
Yeah. So, yeah, the little ammo checks here and there that Magoo had to do in Lone Fair allowed you to catch up and pass him. Yeah, it was a fun race. Very close at the end.
And I did that Zenny Spark.
You did a lot of fun things, if I remember correctly. I think you always do.
I don't remember doing that much Mimi stuff.
Yeah, probably not as much as usual. Magoo did some cute little spring ball jump action over the moat and over the ocean that I liked.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary when with the speed booster.
So I missed, did Chexhuman die? Because he's back in this room. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but he's back doing the bomb jump again.
Well, I think when he went for those, for the Mickey Mouse missiles, he fell, and then he kind of went back around and checked the screw attack item.
Oh, okay.
And meanwhile, Swap Space has been first place in his race with an official SRL time of 1 hour 12 minutes 30 seconds. So GG to Swap.
It looks like
GG.
Chex has forfeited from the race, actually.
Yeah, so
Time? I don't know if we do or not.
Oh, with that win, I'm 4-0 with a bad average time.
Me and Tracy already decided that we're gonna take you down
No.
in the Chozo, so wait for that. I'm calling it now.
No.
And if we don't get paired up, I'll know that you did some shenanigans.
Hmm.
Okay, I think Swap is gonna try to join us and talk to us. And Chex looks like he's gonna join us too. Alright, Swap is here. I'm gonna move him. Hi, Swap. GG.
Thank you. How are we doing?
How did you like that seed? Wasn't so bad, was it?
I've played worse, but you know. It certainly wasn't my favourite seed. It would have been a lot nicer had I gone up Red Tower rather than down. I think it was that big backtrack that's the only really reason I didn't
Yeah.
particularly like it.
You and Chex both went down, while Owl and Maisgueuh went up first.
I went meme route,
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, Owl did meme route.
but that sort of put me in the power bump predicament when I was trying to get water away.
Oh, yeah.
I needed an extra power bomb to get in after I checked the charge location and then wavegate location.
So did you end up with a horrible farm off the Zebs in Big Pink?
It was faster than I would have expected, but it was still slow.
I actually had a similar thing with the super drops on those guys. They're normally pretty bad when you're trying to farm up ready for the gate glitch. And like 5 out of 6 drops were supers or something. It was crazy.
We also have Chex here. GG to Chex.
GG.
What did you think of the seed?
It was pretty good. I felt like my overall route was right. And my tangents were bad. But I had fun.
You sure you want to croc?
What's that croc?
Space jump.
Space jump.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You still have time to go back for it.
All right.
I was so tempted after your reaction in chat the other week, Bunny, to actually head back towards Bubble Mountain after picking Space Jump up from there.
That's why you always do Croc before Bubble Mountain. But it's not like you remembered that you had Space Jump anyway. Swap. Again.
Well, who would forget about that?
Certainly not me.
Oh.
No, I definitely wouldn't.
You shouldn't. It's a great item.
Shout out to
That's
Tracy.
okay. You figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've never realized going down the lower Norfair elevator that I had space jump and didn't need to do a gravity jump. That's never happened to me.
Screw's just a deceptive little thing. That's what that is. I blame Screw Attack.
It is not Screw Attack's fault.
Sure it is.
It is the item that upgrades the Screw Attack, like nothing else.
Yeah, but yeah, it is interesting that that screw attack basically doesn't. There's no sprite for screw attack without space jump. So I always get kind of tripped up by that a lot myself. Like, it's just because the animations are exactly the same, but you don't actually have the space jump.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to make sure you wouldn't get the space. You wouldn't try to get the screw attack without the space jump, but with that acid chozo. But we gate glitch around it anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it is our fault, after all, and not the game's.
It is. I never forget because I spend every seed hoping to find it. So when I find it, I'm very, very happy and excited and am going to win. But that's
a good
just
attitude.
me. Yeah, that's right. I Actually, in this race, the 2 people who got space jump were the people who won, and the 2 people who didn't get space jump weren't. So I think that's not a coincidence.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, I think that's 2 wins to
check
Tracy,
it,
really.
John. All right. Well, I'm just going to mention really quickly that we have a couple more races today at 3 o'clock and... Wait, is it the 13th? Yes, it is. 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. We also, here on Speed Gaming 3, have an open community race using the Chozo logic. And that is at 7 p.m. tonight.
I think that also uses boss rando.
That is tonight. They're in boss rando.
I think tonight is Chozo boss rando.
Oh,
Yeah,
very nice. Oh, okay, cool.
yeah, Tracy confirming that in chat.
Thank you. Extra cool then. So join us for that if you can. And if I'm not mistaken, you can still join and play even if you aren't in the league.
Yeah, it's good practice for season 3.
Very nice. All right. Yeah, and of course, for our lovely Canadian Owl, Maisgueuh, Chexhuman, and Swap Space. Yeah, it's practice for the playoffs. The Owl won't be in, and me and Tracy
no.
will be in.
Or no, with one of the worst averages.
I'm working on it. Yeah, Tracy, I'm sure I'm already eliminated as well. I've had some bad times and rarely win.
Yeah, so any final thoughts on this seed from any of the runners?
Heck.
That's the thought.
It was funny. Thanks again. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good seed.
Yeah.
Just thank God we didn't have to go to Shack.
Should have checked Ridley.
What was it?
You are in
Ridley?
goal mode. Do not make checks after goal mode. It's the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thanks to comms and tournament admins and restreamer and whatnot.
Ploff27 for tracking for us today. Follow them as well.
Anyway, see ya.
Yeah. So I think with that, Again, we have the open race at 7 p.m. I believe on this speed gaming channel, which will be Chozo plus Boss Randomizer, which should be fun. So tune in for that. There's the SMZ3 weekly race at 3 p.m. I'd have to look up what speed gaming channel that's on, and that looks like it is also on Speed Gaming 3. So yeah, so you can just
on
stay
Speed
tuned.
Gaming 3.
Yeah, so basically you don't have to leave Speed Gaming 3 all day. You can get all of your Super Metroid and SMZ3 randomizer action. So, yeah. With that, yeah, this has been the Rando League weekly speed gaming race, and may you not find your Varia suit at Shack Tool, and see you next mission.
Bye bye.